We've talked a lot about how it was our desire to make a film that feels more like the early Saw movies, in terms of simplicity on the one hand, where we don't have to worry about convoluted time tricks, but also just to be able to focus on John's character.
I don't suppose you can tell me how it looks, can you?
Unfortunately, I'm just the technician.
And this movie, we set out, the very first document we have written in January 2018, so 5 years ago from where we're sitting here right now. It was called Saw 9, John Kramer.
After Jigsaw, we were working on a script, which was this story. And Chris Rock came to us and he said, I love your Saw movies. He said, I've always wanted to be in one.
And then we got a call that Chris Rock wanted to talk about being in a Saw movie, and then everything was put on hold. And we had to scrap what was going to be Saw 9, which is now Saw 10.
When Chris Rock came in with the spiral script, and he had an open window of availability, we kind of shifted gears and we did that movie, but we knew we were going to come back to this script.
So we had to wait about 2.5 years before we revisited the story, although Pete and I were working on it throughout that entire process, knowing that it would probably wind up getting made one day.
Kevin Greuter edited the first 5, directed 6, directed 7. So for us, having Kevin Greuter, I mean, he has such an amazing memory and take on everything.
There's been, what, 5 different writers over the course of the franchise. Mark and Oren, yes, they are experts on it, and they're the ones in charge. But Kevin has sat there and scrolled frame by frame of every single moment of every single Saw film, and when you're editing, it invades your mind. You have dreams about it. So he's been dreaming about the Saw franchise since a year before we saw the first film in the movie theater. That's how long Kevin has been involved in this franchise.
It's really fun to work with him on this. They couldn't have hired a better director, because imagine like everything this man has to hold in his head all day long. Like 18 years of details, and you're going back to this particular time, so you have to hold all those details.
He's edited most of the Saw films, directed a few of them, so nobody knows Saw the way Kevin knows Saw.
From both shooting my own films and editing other people's films, I've kind of refined in my head, at least, what I think I need to pull scenes off.
Be a lot of over and tight here, and we'll feel it's fake, but just try to avoid all that.
And it involves shooting a lot of material. There's no doubt about it, and it's not always a luxury to shoot everything that you want, but I do feel I've gotten pretty good at shooting enough.
How much time do I have?
Months, at best.
There is one person who might be able to help.
You're in very good hands with us.
I'll wire the second half of the payment.
Your whole life happens then.
According to these scans, the tumor was never removed.
医療作業を働いた4人の男女。これは報復ではない。命の尊さを学ぶ時。
It's a reawakening.
I'd like to play a game.
You can. You promised you could save their lives. Dying people! And a new game's about to begin. Don't hesitate.
Saw X.